Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about Unit 3, that is the hydrosphere. Hydro means water. Okay. So since thousands and thousands of years, it has been going on raining. And the water goes into the sea, river, ocean, and like that, only 1% of the water that reaches the earth is useful to the human being. Only 1%. Whatever the rain we are getting, only 1% of the rain is being useful for the human being. So today, we are going to know about the water cycle, or that is a hydrological cycle. Water cycle or a hydrological cycle. See, water comes to the earth and again goes up and again comes up. So this is called as a hydrological cycle. Okay, coming down and going up and again coming down. Okay. It is a circulation of the water in different forms, that is in the liquid, solid and gaseous stages. So there are 6 stages are there. How many stages? 6 stages of a hydrological cycle. Note it down. First is evaporation. Then transportation. Evaporation, transportation, condensation, precipitation, runoff, groundwater. Okay. Evaporation, transportation, condensation, precipitation, runoff and groundwater. Let us now discuss it in a detailed way. What is the evaporation? Water is a transport from the surface of the earth to the atmosphere. Okay, here water is there, it goes up. Okay, how it goes up? Through the evaporation, the process in which the water goes from the earth to the atmosphere is called as what is that? Evaporation. Sun's warmth heats up the evaporates and water from the earth surface. So from the earth surface, due to the sunlight, it heats up. When the water heats up, it raises up. Okay. So land, lakes and rivers and oceans send up the steady stream of water vapors through this process. So due to the process, the water reaches into the atmosphere. Plants also lose water to the air through the transpiration. So you must have read in the biology that plants also releases the water into atmosphere. That is called as transpiration. Then transportation. What is the transportation? The movement of water through the atmosphere, specifically from over the ocean to over land in the form of cloud, is called as a transportation. So it is being formed as a cloud. Okay. Transportation. Clouds are propelled from one place to the another place by either upper air circulation, surface based circulation like land and sea breeze and other mechanisms. So these clouds are being moved from one place to the another place due to the air circulation or due to the surface based circulation. That is called as transportation. Then condensation. This transported water vapor eventually condense, forming a tiny water droplet. So in this process, condensation, in this water vapors are there. These water vapors becomes the tiny water droplets, small water droplets. Then after precipitation, after condensation, precipitation, the primary mechanism for the transporting water from the atmosphere to the, so this precipitation is the primary mechanism of transporting the water from this atmosphere to the earth. Okay, when the clouds meet cool air over the land, precipitation in the form of rain, sleet or snow is triggered and water returns to the, so in the different forms. So when it meets the cool air here, that tiny water drops becomes heavier and the cloud could not hold it and it starts to rain and different forms. Rain, sleet or snow falling is also happening. Okay, in this precipitation. After the rain, most of the water which returns to the land flows down the hills as a runoff water. So as the rain comes here, the water flows into the rivers and ocean. Some of it penetrates into the land and charges the groundwater, while the rest at the river flow return to the ocean. So I told you, due to the runoff, what happens? The rain water comes to the rivers and oceans, and a very less water penetrates into the ground and recharge the ground level water. Then groundwater. What is this groundwater? Under the special circumstances, groundwater can be flow upward in the estuarine belts. The flow of groundwater is much slower than a runoff. So this groundwater is there. This is our ground. The water level is here. The groundwater flows also. But the flow of this groundwater is very slower than the runoff water. Okay. The hydrological cycle is not a simple process of circulation of water between ocean, atmosphere and the land. There are number of sub-circles also, cycles operating within it. So these are the main stages of a hydrological cycle. So water source. What are the water source are there? We get water from the different sources. Water sources. Okay. We get water. See, most of the water present in the earth atmosphere is saline water, most of it. Oceans contains 97% of the water. Then ice caves 2.15%, groundwater only 0.61%, island sea 0.0089%. So like that, the greatest portion of the fresh water is in the form of ice and a permanent snow cover in Antarctica. So whatever the fresh water is accumulated in Antarctica. The Arctic and in the mountain regions, they are accumulated just like the snow. 30.1% exists in the fresh groundwater. Only 0.34% of the total amount of fresh water on the earth is concentrated in the lakes, reservoirs and river systems. So very less portion, 0.34% of the total whatever the total fresh water is there, we can from there 0.34% we can find in the lakes, rivers, and other systems. Then comes to the oceans. If you are going for the oceans, see here. Continents and oceans are the first order relief features of the earth. We read it in the second chapter. The large water bodies are called as ocean. So what is a ocean? Ocean means the large water bodies are called as ocean. The geographers have divided the ocean part of the earth into 5 oceans. How many oceans are there? 5 oceans are there. One is Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, then the Atlantic Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Indian Ocean, okay, the Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The Southern means Antarctic Ocean. The Antarctic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean. Like this, 5 oceans are divided. The word sea is often used interchangeably with the ocean. By strictly speaking, a sea is a body of saline water partly or fully enclosed by land. So, sea means salty water, saline water, partly or fully enclosed by land area. Sometimes partly it is enclosed, sometimes fully it is enclosed. The major oceanic divisions are defined in the part by the continents, various archipelages, and the other criteria. So, we have a table here. The Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean separates Asia and Oceania. Oceania means Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, etc. from the Americans. The Atlantic Ocean separates the America from Europe and Africa. The Indian Ocean washes up Southern Asia and separates Africa and Australia. The Antarctic Ocean, sometimes considered as an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean, which encircles the Antarctica, total Antarctica. Okay, the Arctic Ocean, sometimes considered a sea of the Atlantic, which covers much of the Arctic and washes up to the North America and Eurasia. Okay. So this is regarding our oceans. Now let us discuss about the relief of ocean. Ocean relief, very important question. Ocean relief, a relief of the ocean. Relief of the ocean. The ocean basins are many ways similar to the land surface. There are submarine ridges, plateau, canyons, terraces. Ocean floor is divided into 4 parts. So, ocean floors, it is divided into 4 parts. Continental shelf, first is continental shelf. Then second is continental slope. Continental slope. Third is deep sea plain, deep sea plain, and ocean deeps or trenches. Ocean deeps, it is also called as the trenches. So, suppose we are going deep into the sea. In this diagram, you can see here, the continental shelf with a depth of up to 200 meters. So, up to 200 meters, it can, this is the continental shelf. Okay. So, it occupies the 7.6% of area of the ocean. It is the border zone between the land and the sea. That means near the land, okay, from near the land up to the sea, if you go for 200 meters, these are called as the continental shelf. It is the border zone. The largest continental shelf is the Siberian shelf in Arctic Ocean. Write down the largest continental shelf is Siberian shelf in the Arctic Ocean. Okay, largest continental shelf is found in Arctic Ocean. So after crossing the continental shelf, we reach as so these continentals stretching to the 500 kilometers in width. So just depth is 200 meter, but if you go for 1500 kilometers, that is comes under the continental shelf. This continental shelf is important because we can get the fish from this continental shelf. Then crude oil, then building seaport is possible here. So continental shelf is important because we get the seafood, okay, fish wealth, and crude oil, natural gas, and building the seaport is possible in this continental shelf only because it stretches up to 1500 kilometer. Okay. Then after that continental shelf, continental slope comes here. You can see this diagram here. Continental slope. Slope. These are the sloping words are there. Okay. So continental slope is spread 200 meters from 200 to 3000 meter depth. So its depth is only 200 meter. But continental shelf depth is 200 meters to 3000 meters. Okay, the depth of the continental slope. With a complex relief, it comprises 15% of the ocean area. So, as you know that it covers 7.6. It covers 15%. 15%. The continental slope boundary indicate the continents. Submarine canyons have also been observed in this region. These are formed by the process of erosion of glaciers and rivers. So the continental slope, how it formed due to the erosion of this, glaciers and rivers. Then a deep sea plain at the name shows here, deep sea plain are a gently sloping area of the ocean basin. Deep sea plain. So it is a somewhat flat. You can see here. This is somewhat flat here. This is sea plain. You can see here. This is the sea plain here. Okay. These are the flattest and smoothest region in the world. The depth is vary from 3,000 to, it covers 3,000 meters to 6,000 meter. It's a depth. Sea plain depth is 3,000 to 6,000 meter. It covers 76%, 76.2% of the sea area. Okay. Then ocean deeps. Deep means it's a, what do you say it? Ocean sea deep or trenches means its depth is very down. Okay. These are the large narrow trenches that plunge as a great ocean deep to a depth of 6,000 meter. So it can go up to 6,000 meter. Contrary to our expectation, most of the deepest trenches are not located in the midst of the ocean. They are found more close to the continent. That is why they are very significant in the study of plate movement. So some deep trenches are there. Okay, even Himalaya can be drawn there. Okay, like Mariana Trench. It is in Pacific Ocean. Write down the Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench. Its depth is 11,022 meter. Okay, Mariana Trench. It is in the Pacific Ocean. Then Navas. It is also in a Pacific, Atlantic Ocean. It is in a Atlantic Ocean. It is a Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. It is a Atlantic Ocean. Okay, its depth is 10,475 meter. Then Java. This trench is in the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean. It is 7,450 meters. Okay, 7,450 meters. In the Mariana Trench, its depth is 11,022 meters. So that means Himalaya also, the Himalayan mountain also can be drawn there. So this is the first page of our lesson. Okay, the hydrosphere, the salinity and other things, salinity, temperature and the resource we will discuss in the next class. I will send you the textbook copy and as well as some important points of this lesson. You can understand it. Okay, thank you.